What's up, everybody? We are back with another episode of Couch Talk. Today, I am joined by Jade. Jade, right?
Yes.
May not know what the fuck that whole name. And as you already know, there's no topics. We're just gonna talk about random ass shit. So today, we're probably just gonna fucking wing it because this is the pilot episodes. All right, so I guess I'm just gonna start this off with where are you from? Where are you from? What do you do? Tell me about you.
Well, I moved here from New York, but where I'm from, I've been all over. Born in Kansas City, Missouri, raised in Kansas, then moved to New York and bounced between different places in New York and New Jersey. So a lot of different experiences. But yeah, I lived in upstate, like as far as you can get before getting to Canada for on and off 24 years.
Oh God.
So I'm so happy to be away from the snow. I hate the cold. Hate the cold so much.
So what made you choose Savannah out of all the places that you could have chose? Because like a lot of people that I've met just up and leave somewhere and they've been there for like their life. Like that's your life. And you just left it.
Yeah, well, I have a lot of mixed emotions about that place. A lot of good memories, but a lot of bad memories. So it was needing a fresh start for sure. Just to, like, my main goal was to get out. We actually were originally planning before here to go to Florida because with my school going to Full Sail. I wanted to be close just to be able to get on campus for some like social events and networking and whatnot.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm still close enough to go there. But before then, we had so many different states that we were planning on go to. It just depended on where was their work, how could we do it, and what we were planning on at that time. When it came down to coming here, my man literally saw a job posting and within 24 hours had it. And then the following month, he was already down here.
Okay. So, I mean, yeah, that makes it a little bit easier when you can just have something to like fall into and you're already there.
Oh, yeah.
What do you like currently do? Like, what is your day-to-day life? I know we talked a little bit before we went live, but what does your day-to-day life look like as far as living in Savannah?
Now that we've gotten everyone settled, like my man goes to work Monday to Friday. He works on the airfield. So it's pretty standard and it's nice because he has set hours and it's the same time that our oldest goes to school and our youngest does ABA therapy. So during the day, it's just me. And I started door dashing when I came down here just so I could like learn the area and find good food too, because gotta get those new tastes out here.
Absolutely. All right, so there is our first transition. What is the best place that you've ate since you've been here in Savannah? Or Pooler? I mean, I call Pooler Savannah. It's the same shit. Like when I first got here in 2014, Pooler was like Cheddar's, Lowe's, Walmart, and like 4 other things. So there wasn't a whole lot of fucking shit here.
Right.
So what is the best food you've had? And then when you give me that answer, I would probably have follow-ups because I'm fat.
Okay. Well, I mean, it really depends on what we're talking about here. But I would say, like, for breakfast, I love Henry's. Because on the weekend, they do the buffet. And, I mean, who doesn't love a good buffet? And it's awesome because, especially with having a 10-year-old and a 3-year-old, it's so easy to just go in and get out, and their food is phenomenal.
Yeah.
So the fact that they have that, like, I've never seen a breakfast buffet before.
I can fuck up some breakfast.
So that made me so happy to see that they have that. I do have to say though, pizza-wise, I've been struggling. I found a couple places, like, don't get me wrong, the Stoner's Pizza Joint, I do like it, but I like it mainly for their cookies. But I realized I was covering that.
No, you're good.
I was like covering the mic though. While I was
no, you're good. It's still gonna pick up. Stoners is actually pretty fire. Listen, this whole thing, as we go, we can always clip and cut. I can always clip and cut. That's the beauty of this. My camera froze though. All right, what was the first place you said?
Henry's, the breakfast place.
What is that?
It's right.
It's here?
Yeah, it's behind the. I'm still trying to learn the Chick-fil-A.
It's on the busy side of Pooler, or on this side of Pooler.
Towards
Costco.
Wait, not that one. The one in the middle, between the Costco and the Walmart.
That's a big ass gap.
The Chick-fil-A that's between them.
I know, but Walmart is like that camera, and then Costco is that camera. You got like a whole ass world in between. Are you talking about?
I mean, just straight down Pooler Parkway.
Pooler Parkway. So if you were to go out of
because there's the three. There's the
you
one.
You could go up here to the light on Pooler Parkway. You go left to Costco or right to Walmart. We're going right to Walmart, and that's the first Costco you get, or the first Chick-fil-A you get to on the left.
Yes.
Goodwill. It's
yes.
in that area.
Yes.
Okay,
yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
See, we did math. We did math and maths together. I need to go check that out.
I use GPS to get everywhere. That's where it's so hard. Like, I have to think of the things that are there.
Yeah.
I don't go by street signs and stuff. No. Nope.
I still use, I mean, I use Waze everywhere, but like typically for, if people are, most Waze users are really good about like pointing where cops are at.
Yeah.
And
I use the same thing for, yeah.
I have a Civic Type R, so I could just drive fast. And I don't drive fast. If you're watching this, feds, drive the speed limit. No, I drive fast. It's a fucking Type R. It's built. What do you do? So I GPS everywhere.
Same, yeah.
What is like your favorite style of food? Like, if you could have anything at any time, what would it be? Like you're just yum, like it's gonna make you happy food.
It's a tie between pizza and mac and cheese.
Okay, so there is a great barbecue truck here in Savannah called Slow Fire Barbecue, and they have probably some of the best mac and cheese. Or this is gonna fucking be off the wall. Y'all look, listen. Okay, so like when this goes to anyone in the Savannah Hustlers page, y'all know this. But in Pooler, Fat Girl Dines at the Parkers. That's also like a Parker's Spirits closer to the outlets. She's a caterer, but then she also opened up her own spot, and it's inside of like a Parker's. It's like a really nice Parker's though.
Yeah.
I would say it's like the fancy Parker's of Pooler. And she's in there. Her mac and cheese. I worked a wedding with her last June, not this June, but last June, and she was a caterer, and I ate this mac and cheese, and I was ready to marry her.
Oh yeah.
That shit was so fucking good. So you should go there and try that. It's in Pooler.
Definitely. Me and my boys, that's our number one is the mac and cheese.
I had some mac and cheese at work yesterday. Shit was good. Which is surprising. Like, we have a nice cafe and like a whole like kitchen and everything, and like their food's like hit or miss. But that shit was so good yesterday. I was like, someone made this that like gets asked to make mac and cheese.
Yeah.
Like, there's people that can like make mac and cheese okay, but then there's like, bitch, you put your foot in there, a little bit of spit, like you talk to the mac and cheese, and there's like a big difference. Like there's like okay mac and cheese, there's good mac and cheese, and like there's this like big gap of like, but like the people like right here, like the top tier level mac and cheese, like top tier mac and cheese just does some different shit to you.
Yeah. Yep.
So outside of food, outside of like, what is your things in life? What do you like to do? You obviously have a lot of tattoos. I have a lot of tattoos. What is your thing? What is you?
Right now, mine is my thing. Let's see. How do I explain it? I would say figuring shit out.
Figuring shit out?
This is the first time that I live somewhere where I feel like I can actually be myself without any reservations or worries. And because, like, no one knows me down here, so there's no preconceived misconceptions of me based off of others' experiences. And I've never felt that in my life. So, like, even being here, I'm just looking for opportunities.
No, yeah, I get that.
Like, whatever I see, like, even on Facebook or just whatever happens out in public, I'm big on, well, I guess this was the plan. I don't need to know why, but I'm going to try this thing here because it's right in front of me.
Yeah, I feel like we're in a society of, like, people don't want to take risks. Mm-hmm. And, like, it's scary, right? I didn't know you before today.
Right.
We talked for 20 minutes and you're like, hey, I'll jump on this. And like, the world can be a fucking like wild, scary place.
Yep.
But also like, if you don't take chances and you're cool with like, I'm super big on like saying like thrive and not survive.
Yeah.
And like, if you're always in survival mode and just always doing like that little bit like, hey, I'm going to get up, I'm going to go to work, I'm going to come home. Like if you always have like that same routine.
Yep. The autopilot.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. I'm not saying like, it's probably the safest to always just be walking up into people's houses. Like, no matter who you are, woman or male.
Yeah.
Because we could reverse this role.
Yeah.
And I could have came in here and, like, the same, like, shit. Like, obviously, like, it's easier for guys or to do some stuff that could be slightly more frowned upon.
Yeah.
But, like, it's not, like, you have 10 fingers. You can easily pop, boom, I'm done.
Yep.
It's the same thing. So, like, it's about, like, taking those risks, like, figuring out what you can do to make a situation work for you.
Absolutely. Like, I'm big on, like, even with coming here, there's definitely people that would probably be like, what the hell are you doing? You don't know who this guy is, and you're just, like, gonna go over to his place. But I have the mentality of I'm where I'm supposed to be anywhere I go, because if I wasn't, I wouldn't be there. So it's like, I no longer fear, oh, what's going to happen? And that's big on, like, being here in general, just because, like I said, like, I finally out of that survival mode and get to start thriving and doing shit. Man. So I'm like, if I was able to handle so much, like, bad shit in the past, like, what could be worse?
No.
What could be worse? What other bad shit could actually happen? And not for nothing, all that's prepared me for like many situations. So it's like I don't need to live in fear anymore, because it's like if it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. I know how to handle myself, so I might as well go out and try random things. What do I have to worry about?
And if it happens and it's like something that's out of your control, like it's out of your control.
Absolutely.
What's going to be out of your control is always going to be out of your control.
Yes.
Like obviously, yeah, you can avoid certain situations, but you can't avoid every situation.
Right.
Like even I look at it like people are like, oh, I'm not going to do this, this, or this. But like, okay, well, you can't avoid a hurricane.
Right.
Which you can leave, but you might not come back to a house.
Right.
So yeah, go out and go do shit.
Yeah.
Like not everybody's comfort level is the same. Like this is a wild idea, but the people that agree to come do it is like, I'm gonna do whatever I need to do to make sure that like you're cool, comfortable. Like we had a pre-conversation. We're not gonna get into that now because we're gonna get into that. But like we had that conversation, and like I'm gonna have that conversation. I'm gonna lay down like exactly like there's these expectations. Like it's here's this is what it is. This is what it could be. Like you have to either be cool with that, or it's like let me know, speak up, just fucking use your words.
We're transparency and setting boundaries.
Yeah,
like
it's not it's not like it's not this big hard to do thing. Just say what you need to say, but people don't want to do that, and I was like, okay, but like it's a lot. But for me, if someone's like, oh, I'm interested, but I have my reservations. I'm like, all right, shit. Like, where do you want to meet somewhere first?
Right.
Because if there's like obviously you were just like fucking hell yeah, I'm gonna send it. But like I had other people like, hey, I want to, but like I don't know who you are. I'm like, that's valid.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, where do you want to go? How do you want to do this?
Right.
Do you want to meet in public? Let's do it.
Right.
Whatever you want. Like if you really want to do this, because I only want people on this couch that are like,
I'm here for it. Let's do it. Let's have fun.
Like send it, like laugh, and like obviously a lot of these episodes are gonna be like this breaking the ice kind of vibes at first.
Yeah. And
then once we get into it, then people are gonna be like, oh shit, like that's what it is. I think it's important for every time. Like for me, a lot of people are gonna kind of hear the same stuff because I'm if hopefully, we do this again and then bam, we don't have to talk about the beginning stuff, we just can hop into some stuff.
Right.
But it's gonna be a lot of stuff of like a lot of breaking the ice and then just fucking diving in. But that's what makes this super interesting. I don't know why this camera keeps freezing, but I think it's maybe too hot. But see, this is why, but also why another thing of why I'm doing this is a testing. I've never used this as a as like a podcast webcam. It says I can use it as a webcam, and I haven't even been going. Like this is only 15 minutes in.
Yeah.
So I don't really know. It could be connection or I don't know.
Just got to work the kinks out.
Yep, and that's why we're here. Yeah. Speaking of kinks, we're just gonna go hop into some wild. What is your craziest kink? Oh no! See, I told you. I told you we were getting right.
Okay. Yeah.
I'll go first.
I'm just trying. I'm trying to like grasp a level to start at. So yeah, I'll feed off of where you yeah.
Okay, so like I don't say like I have something too crazy. Voyeurism for sure.
Okay, I've never heard of that.
Like people watching.
Oh, I didn't know how to name.
Yeah, like it can be like a one-on-one setting. It could be like I've done OnlyFans. I've done like adult content.
Mm-hmm.
But like something about just like the other person watching is like it's I don't know.
I get it. It's a psychological thing because it's
Especially live.
we're conditioned to feel, like obviously there's things that are appropriate for others to see and not.
Yeah.
And to do something intimate with watching eyes is perceived as you don't do that.
Yeah.
Like that's like a standard. So I totally get it.
Yeah, and it's like it's not always too like
You're like breaking that barrier of you're not supposed to watch me do this.
yeah, almost in that sense too.
Yep.
And it's like people if I know you a little bit more, it's like not the exact same. So it's like I'm just like, oh shit, I don't really know you, but I don't know. It's something that like I don't know. I told you, like I said earlier, like I'm an open person. Like I'm not shy. I'm not nervous. I'm a put it out there kind of person. So I think like definitely like being watched.
Yeah.
Or just like that mutualness of like, it's funny. So like the idea of this whole couch thing like stemmed kind of off of that, like the closeness of the couch, but like we're sitting there just like watching each other.
Right.
And then I was like, oh that made me make sense. And then it's funny because everybody's like, oh look, casting couch, and I was like, this isn't a black leather couch.
Not gonna lie, I definitely thought that at one point sitting down. I'm like, this could feel that way, especially because she got.
It does feel like that. I mean, it's absolutely like, it makes sense for sure. But, all right, so there was my first answer. We can go back and forth on it. I broke that ice.
I mean, I definitely would say I have that in there too. Like I said, I didn't know it had a name for it.
Yeah.
But mine would be more of like it's nice when it's maybe like 3 people.
Yeah.
And like, I would say I definitely am the type that I would like to sit and watch my man with another woman and get angry about it. Because
Yeah.
I like that. I like invoking anger during it.
You like anger during like intercourse? Like
Oh
sex?
yeah. Oh
Okay.
yeah. Oh yeah.
So,
So things that could
rough.
like trigger you to like and like bring that out. Yeah. Yeah.
That's fair. I mean, it makes sense. So when you say like anger though, like what does that mean?
Oh, hitting completely. And
Yeah?
even using shit, all like any whips, anything, like, and just being aggressive. Being very aggressive.
What is your like limits though? Because like everybody has like limits. I think like for me, my biggest thing is like no bodily fluids that aren't like normal.
Oh yeah. No,
Like,
I would say
like,
yes.
No blood, no
yeah.
shit, no piss. But like I feel like there's no shaming, but like that's just like I can get.
Well, you're
I can push
speaking
to
personal preference.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
you know.
I can push myself to like a level, but like then I'm like, you want to what?
Yeah, no, I definitely no golden showers and no defecation. No.
Yeah, I'm not about that life. It just doesn't seem like I want to do that.
Yeah, those are things that it's like
Like
I could never get into personally.
Yeah, like nothing ever tells me like just pee on me.
Right.
Yeah, it's just weird.
I do wonder people who like that. It's like, is it?
What is it about it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Is it the feeling of it? Is it you like the degrading part of it? Like,
that's what I've heard. I've heard like the degrading and like, the warmth. I'm like, bitch, boil some water. Like, put some water.
Use some wax.
Yeah, put some water in the microwave, wax, or fucking, I don't even fucking know. Buy some coffee. Like, shit, like, pee? Really? But, like, I guess, like, the pee part is, like, it is a degrading feeling. Like,
yeah.
I'm hovering over you, like.
Yup.
I don't even know if I could, like, be serious and pee on somebody.
I know.
Like,
Like,
you're just sitting there, like, and I was like.
I definitely think it's something they both have to be into those roles.
Yeah.
To enjoy
like,
it.
You both have to be.
Yeah.
Like, I remember, like, when I started doing OnlyFans and, like, adult content. Well, first off, I dated, like, a porn star back in, like, 2014. Like, she was, like, with Bang Bros and fucking.
Oh, that's
Team
awesome.
Speed. Like, she was, like, it was before OnlyFans, right?
Right.
So it was, like, before everybody was doing it.
Right,
so,
right.
like, she was in the industry. Like, I got to go to some places and, like, see, like, that world.
Yeah.
And that was in 2014. So, like, I seen the world. And the requests that she would get, like, Twitter requests and shit, because, like, Twitter was hopping back then.
Oh, yeah.
Which is still hopping, but, like, as a creator, it was really, like, it was really, really hopping. And people would be the wildest things.
Yeah.
And, like, I was just, like, I never understood, like, the requests at the time. But then early, like, 2022, I was doing, like, OnlyFans, Pornhub, like, selling content or whatever.
Yeah.
And a lot of my content that I was selling was to, like, gay dudes on Grindr.
Nice.
It was easy, right?
Right.
I'm tatted up. I have a beard. I'm attractive. I'm in physically decent shape. And I was like, okay, well, first off, like, I don't know. You girls are kind of weird when it comes to, like consuming porn, right? Like, you're not going to just, like, finger bang yourself to just one dude. Maybe you do. I don't fucking know.
I feel like they definitely have a bigger variety of interests available to them.
Well, yeah, it's just harder to sell content to, like, a woman.
Yeah.
Right? So I was like, okay, I'll just sell to fucking dudes. I don't give a shit. I'm not gay. I don't care. Beat off to me. I'm already taking these pictures and sending them to other people for free.
Right.
Let me just send them out there. But then I would get weird requests. Like, one dude would, like, he was like, hey, will you pee in a cup and pour it on yourself? I was like, bro, your bank account better have a lot of more zeros.
Right, right. I need way more for that.
Yeah, and I'm just like, I don't think that's what I want to do. I forgot what hat I had on. So there's like that stuff. So it's like never a kink shame because, like,
Oh yeah, no.
I am probably, I wouldn't say a sex addict, but it's up there, you know, like, I could blow a line of sex up my nose anytime, like it was some coke. But it's interesting because it's one of the topics that I have that's, like, where people can't really do this, I always kind of present, like, hey, here's this list. And one of them is, like, why is sex taboo to talk about? No matter what.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, we're talking about it.
Right.
It's okay. Like, it doesn't, you're fine.
Well, and I actually think that a part of that, because not only do we have, like, the pre-programming, I would say, that we all have from, like, society on how to view it and whatnot, and then, but I have the understanding of, like, with kinks, kinks come from past experiences, and typically, like, the darker or heavier ones, or ones that seem so, like, out of there, are from trauma. Like, even, like, with the peeing, you're in a degrading spot, there's something that makes you want to be in that position.
Yeah.
But in a situation where you have control.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So it's like, there's no need to kink shame because we all got something fucked up that happened that makes us like the random things that we do.
Yeah, no, that's fair. It's like, yeah, I don't know. I've never been like, I want to try this. So obviously probably, like, the harder stuff definitely probably stems from somewhere. But yeah, I never thought about that like that. Like, just.
Oh, I'll make you think all types of ways you wouldn't even think before.
No, that's good. That's the point, though.
I can't tell you how many times I will, like, go off of, like, someone's riff and, like, have a conversation like this and then say something and they're like, I didn't think, like, that was a whole new door that just opened. I didn't ever think of it that way.
See, that's the point of this, though, right? All right, I'm going to spin this really fast. Piercings and tattoos. Obviously, you have a lot, but I need a number. How many piercings, how many tattoos?
Like, ever or currently?
I guess you could both.
Well, because I've had
Piercings definitely probably have changed.
like my ears. I mean, it's hard to even count those because of like piercing a bunch, taking them out. My nose, septum. I've had my tongue done like 3 times because I would take it out and
it grows back like fucking instantaneously.
I've had my Monroe. I've had my eyebrow. I want to get my eyebrow redone again. But I'm like trying to figure out exactly where I want it to be because now I have like the tattoos and stuff. So it's like I don't want to put everything heavy over here.
On one side.
But I'm kind of conditioned to because like I got my scar over here, so I feel like that's why I keep putting everything on that side.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna get that eventually. I did have my nipples done. I do want to get those done again too because I got them done before I had my youngest, so I took them out and I'm like, I'm not having any more kids. I know that.
You want them back.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's just the confidence that, like, as a woman to have your nipples pierced, it's something about it.
Especially you have nice nipples. I'm gonna be honest. I've seen some like nipples like that. I'm just like.
But it's also it can like. Say the ones that are inverted, where the nipple goes in instead of out, like it can actually kind of correct.
Make it better.
Yes. Yeah. Because I actually used to do piercings. I managed a tattoo shop and I did all the piercings there because there was just like the artist that owned it.
Yeah.
And we were friends, so I came in to run the business side, do all that, and she didn't want to have to keep stopping tattoos to do piercing, so she had me learn and had me apprentice under her, and so I did that for a little while, and I learned a lot because of it, and it can actually make a
I mean, it can make it look better, but like sometimes it's just like, what the fuck did you just do? you just tried to spray paint it gold, and it's still not. It's browns. like I don't know. I'm all about piercings, but like people always ask me like, well, are you a butt guy or a boob guy? I'm like, I am a nipple guy. I like butts for sure, but like,
hey, that's what you like.
But if you have listen, if you have like good nipples, like I don't care what the size of it is.
Right.
Like your boob. Like it could be like a little one with like a nice nipple. It could be a giant one with a nice nipple. But like I'm not doing what the fuck.
That's what you're focusing on is the nipple.
I mean like I can like there's a handful to grab, right?
Right.
Like what the fuck am I really doing with it?
Right.
You know, obviously like for someone like you likes pain, you're probably like okay, fucking squeeze them. But for me, like I'm gonna do what you like, but also for me, like that's my thing.
Yeah.
So when you fuck it up, if you're gonna put a bar through that shit, you better fucking do that shit right.
Right.
All right. So boom, I cut you off. So
you're good.
We got to nipples.
And then my belly button, and that's really all for the piercings.
Yeah.
I stopped counting my tattoos.
Yeah. It seems like you had a lot of like patchwork, and then you started tying a lot of it together with stuff.
Well, yeah, when I first turned 18, I literally skipped school on my birthday.
To get a tattoo?
Yeah, I did 2 things. I visited my brother in jail.
Yeah.
And I got a tattoo. That's all I wanted to do on my birthday. And I always say, I've been collecting ever since. And so, like, this was planned to do the patchwork and then the fishnet underneath.
Yeah.
And I will eventually do this side as well.
Fishnet on the other side?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like it took 4 years of solid going consistently, like at least once a month on average.
Leg up? Oh, yeah, that's a lot.
Like, and you got to think like a lot of them were done over again. Like it took multiple sessions, so it's like.
Did you do all of the fishnet stuff in one sitting?
That was an entire day. The artist I was talking about. We were getting ready to go to a tattoo convention in Massachusetts, I believe, or Connecticut. I don't know, one of the states up there. And it was right before COVID.
Yeah.
And the whole goal was to tie it in, and that was the last step. And we were like 2 weeks shy of the convention.
Yeah.
And considering I was going with her, she really wanted it finished to like showcase.
Yeah.
So I think it was about 16 hours with 8 or 9 hours of needle and skin. And the thing is the fat swelling, I feel, is what causes the tattoos to hurt the most.
Fuck yeah.
And
especially like in the meaty areas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like not for nothing, this one back here.
That shit fucking hurt.
We thought we could get it done in 2 sessions. Yeah. Like, you know, you do the outline, you do the shading, and then we do the color later. Yeah. And it wound up taking 4.
No, listen, I get it. Like as somebody that has like a hand tattoo, like this shit was easy. My hand was fucking easy. Fuck else. I got a couple on my like my thighs. That was like a little bit like fucking shit. But like really what got me was like, what the fuck was the last one I did? This bitch fucking hurt. Like not even my elbow.
Yeah.
But like this area, I feel like this where there's extra like a little bit.
Yeah, I actually was it. Oh yeah, I got that one. So like that goes in there.
Like the pit though, like that's not bad.
And then that.
Like, that is not bad. But like the fucking,
when you get to the
like that side part, I'm like, okay, can you just not do that? Because that doesn't feel good.
Right.
Yeah, I plan on probably being like completely covered. I think I would never go to like throat. I think throat tattoos are super sick, but like where the tips of her wings are at of the butterfly, like going down, I'll probably do like sides. So like really anything like jawline and like here, I probably won't touch the front of my neck.
Right.
Or like my, I guess.
Well,
my
and
throat.
there's some really cool where it's like this and it like wraps around and like stops there.
Yeah.
That I've seen.
And like I mean, I keep my beard pretty much like cut here anyways. So I think for me is like. Not that I don't want to do it. Like I work in corporate America already, and people already see this. So like, adding to it, like, what are you gonna tell me to stop adding shit to me?
Right.
No. So like I'm not worried about that, and I don't really care what people think because they see me. It is weird though, because like the tattoo and the job world thing is not nearly as like a taboo thing.
Right.
Where people still look at you. Like I know that. Like, I know that you're getting stared at. Like you have a fucking chest piece. Like.
Yeah.
You look like you said earlier, like in class, like you just don't fuck with me.
Yeah.
And I have that same shit though. Like I have that when people like that RBF and like now obviously you can't tell. Like besides my hand, and the hand is like there's no shot that there's not more.
Right.
Like I see someone with a hand tattoo or like a neck tattoo. Like if you were zipped up all the way and like you had like long pants on.
Right.
But I seen your neck tattoo. I'm not gonna be like, oh look at this cute girl who just has one neck tattoo.
Yeah. No.
Like if you have tattoos in certain places, it's like, okay. What's you want to see?
Yeah.
God, I just like there's so many times I just want to be like, can I see you naked in the most non-sexual way? To see your tattoo, because like especially in public, like I'll see like someone with a neck tattoo and I'm like, or like if you were wearing like a shirt like I couldn't see like majority like now,
right?
I'm like you bitch, let me see.
Where's the rest?
I will pay you $6 whole. What is your like next tattoo idea? Like, do you have anything like that you really want?
I have. This one idea that I want to do. I actually believe I saw someone on TikTok do this or like a variation of this. So I have a black line down my spine. And what I want to do with the rest of my back, so I only have 2 little shoulder tattoos, is kind of like honeycomb, black lines.
Yeah.
And then like throughout life as I travel and say I'm in an area where I get to work with an artist that like I love their work.
Let them tattoo in it?
Whatever they want. They
so,
like.
So you have a pretty decent sized honeycomb, yeah.
Yeah, like big enough to where like.
The work is meaningful. Yes,
it's not gonna be like little tiny things. Like I got that in Vegas because the people it was a whole group of us, and the festival got canceled and we were all sad. So we're like, what are we gonna do for the day that we were supposed to be at the festival? And that was one of the things we did. But like when I find like there's certain artists that I would love to, travel to and get work done by them, but like that's going to take thousands of dollars and you have to wait for it. Those are the ones going on my back. And because there's going to be very few artists that I would ever just be like, do whatever you want to me.
That's funny that you say that. This whole arm, minus like 2 or 3 pieces, is just like you pick.
Yeah.
So this hand, this Jesus toad, I was sitting, getting a tattoo on my leg, and I was like, hey bro, you want to do a hand tattoo? He's like, yeah, when? I was like, oh, you free tomorrow? He was like, yeah, what do you want? I don't know, man, just send me some shit on Instagram. Yeah. Just go through your stuff. And he like sent me a bunch of stuff, and he's like, how weird? I was like, as weird as you want. And he's like, no shit. I was like, bro, I'll just see you tomorrow. Right. Walked in, he was like, this or this. I was like, which one do you want to do? Right. He was like, the frog. I was like, all right, blast it away. But like most of my stuff, like I have one on the back of my arm. It's like this, I think it's like a skeleton, and it's like a skeleton shooting a gun. And he was holding like Evel Knievel's like helmet. But I was like, that helmet looks stupid. Put something different there. He's like, what? I was like, I don't care. And then it's like a sweet like tiger head or some shit. Nice. So it's just random ass shit. But like it's shit that I have tattoos that I want. Right. That need to have meaning. I have a piece on my leg That's from when my grandpa passed away. And on my back of my other calf is empty. I'm gonna use it as a memorial spot for my grandma.
There you go.
But I have one thing on my back, a small Chinese symbol that I got when I was 18 at like $40 when shop minimums were like $40.
Yeah.
And I went in, I was like, hey, I want a tattoo. Got that. That's the only thing on my back. So my back is completely empty. My chest, like I have I have across my clavicle. I have one piece on my pec. I have an armpit tattoo, so a little bit of that comes into my left pec, and I have like a couple pieces on my ribs. But other than that, like my main torso is pretty empty. My legs, for the most part, are patched. So I have a lot of space. People are like, dude, you're covered. I'm like, not really. Like I am, but I'm not.
Right.
Like I want to be able to tie some stuff in. Like I when you walked in, I was like, dude, that shit's. First off, I was like, okay, this girl's weird as fuck wearing one thing of fishnets, because like that's how the light hit. I thought it was. I was like, oh shit. And then like we started talking. I was like, oh, that's a tattoo. Dumbass. Like in my head, I was like, you're a dumbass, Shane. Like no, that's not real. But it looked real as fuck in the light.
It's valid though, because when I go out and like I'm wearing an outfit with fishnet, what I normally do is I cut the leg off. So I'm only wearing fishnet on this leg. And I can't tell you how many times people come up to me and be like, holy shit, I didn't realize that was not the fishnet. Yeah. The way we actually did this was the artist took the ink and a spray bottle. I wore a fishnet, sprayed my entire leg down so it was purple, took the fishnet off so it was a reverse stencil, so what wasn't purple was what was tattooed.
That's interesting.
That's why it took a whole, because there was no way of duplicating the stencil. There was no way that if we didn't do it in one sitting that it would
work.
Yes.
Well, I was gonna say, because like you have to stencil that.
Yeah.
Like you could freehand that, but then you run into like the risk of like lines not lining up.
Because it's not just doing the fishnet, you're going around all of the tattoo pieces.
Yeah, and then like they have to line up, because like if you had like a line there and it's like over here, you're like, how many times, obviously I know what that symbol is, but how many times now in like the world have you got like, oh, that's a cool Avengers tattoo? Do you get that?
Yeah.
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 I always like to ask people like that I see it, and I'm like, because I obviously grew up, like I'll be 34, so like I know an anarchy symbol, but like a lot of kids don't.
Yeah.
Like if I was to show my 6-year-old, he'd be like, oh my god, dude, she has an Avengers tattoo?
Uh-huh.
Do you get that?
Oh yeah, I got it from my son at one point because he didn't know, and he's obsessed, so.
That's funny. That's so funny. All right. This will be a pause, this will be a cut.
Even like this one, and this one, and this one, and this one, and this one.
You say that leg's bare though. Like you have a lot of.
Well, I was focusing on one than the other, and I wound up bouncing from doing this leg to starting to do my arms. Yeah. Because I had spent so much time and everything getting all of this done. Like my first tattoos were on my hips. Like no one could even see them. Like when I get tattoos, like I'm getting them because I want to get them. Yeah, yeah. And I feel like that's where you can tell someone who like gets them just because they want to look cool, and people who get them because they actually enjoy getting tattoos is, does the first one have to be visible, or are you actually just gonna like get it to get it, you know?
My first tattoo was on my chest, so it wasn't visible.
No, unless you're walking around without your shirt on, which I mean, at the beach and shit like that, but it's like
normal day-to-day life, no one's seeing it. Yeah, like I think a lot of my, like, my chest, my clavicle, my ribs, like a lot of my first stuff was on my torso. Right. So like no one was seeing it. Like I would do MMA and stuff at the time, so like I was shirtless. Yeah. Once or twice a month, but like I got it because I wanted tattoos. Right. But now it's like, I mean, I get tattoos now because I want fucking tattoos. Yeah. But I get them in places that like I can see all the time. Yeah, because then you get to enjoy them. Yeah, because like I spent the money or like the time to do it. Like I would love to blast my fucking back. Mm-hmm. But then I'm just gonna need this big ass mirror on the wall
just to be able to look at it
all day, like.
Not gonna lie, I forget about my back tattoos.
Yeah, someone asked me like, hey, send me your pictures of your tattoos. And I was like, okay. And then as I'm going, then I forgot about this one that's like all the way on this side. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh shit, that's a tattoo back there. Because you don't see it, and then you just don't think about it. Like I had my tongue pierced, it gets to the point where like you know it's there, but then you'll do something, you're like, oh, oops.
Yep.
I think once you have like so much body, like any kind of body modification, like I know a lot of girls that like say like if they get their fucking like their clit pierced or whatever, they'll be like, dude, I don't even fucking remember that shit.
Yeah.
Like
you forget that you have it because you don't see it, and you
and
like, especially with piercings, you feel it so much that you don't feel it anymore.
It's like it's like your nose. Like like we can actually like I remember reading this and I never thought it was real until I really looked at it. We can actually see our nose.
Oh yeah.
Our brain blocks it out. That's like wild to think that like our nose is just like fucking blasted in our face. Like we're just like
right.
I'd be pissed if I could see my nose all day. Like when I think about it, when I'm doing this now and I can like
I can like see better here.
I'm just like, oh god. You imagine just seeing it all day long. Like, oh, that's a little bit of coke right there. Whoopsies. It'd probably help cokeheads.
Oh yeah. I actually did these ones myself.
The tattoos?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted to be able to get tattoos, but didn't have the time and the money at that time period to be able to just go get them right when I wanted them. Like I need a tattoo now and I want it now.
Yeah.
So I got myself a whole machine set up, everything, and I would just go into my office and set my little station up and throw a random tattoo on myself.
That's funny because so I was just recently this year, I was in Jacksonville, North Carolina to do a wedding, and I had a friend who drove down and I hadn't seen her for a while, and she was like, I have a tattoo kit in my car. I was like, okay. She's like, you want to do a tattoo on me? And I was like, I don't know what I'm doing, but yeah. So I did this funny ass fucking bumblebee. It turned out good. She sends me pictures of it all the time. She's like, look at your son. I was like, I fucking hate you. But it made me really want to learn how to do it. I just don't have the time.
Yeah.
Once I'm done with school, so I don't know if I told you. So like I full-time student, full-time job, full-time like this world. So this business. I'm also like a co-owner, founder of a beard care business.
Nice.
That like we don't really necessarily like we just kind of manage it now. But like I'm involved, so like it still takes a little bit of time, but like maybe like 10 hours a month. But it's still like 10 hours, right? Also, I have a child, which takes up 72 hours out of a 24-hour day.
Yep.
So like I'm busy a lot. So like I don't want to add anything else to it. So I'm done with. I graduate in January, but I'm done in December. So for me, it's like I want to keep adding to my skills. We had this conversation about you being here and like what we can do. So like adding to my skill set and doing these things. So maybe like tattooing might be like my next step. My tattoo artist is like super like, dude, fuck yeah, I'll buy you everything you need.
Nice.
And I was like, I can't commit to being an apprentice.
Right.
I can commit to coming in for like a couple hours a week. And you telling me like what to practice on fake skin and like yada yada yada.
Right.
And then when it comes to the point like if you're ready for me to tattoo on people, and then like I get to the point where I'm okay enough to like I can't draw to save my life, but I understand tattoos. I understand how it goes in. I understand the process. I understand how to like shade. I understand color theory. You have to understand color theory to do this.
Yes.
So I understand all of that, and I could do like I could print out a fucking flash piece, and I could put it on you, and I can do it once I learn. Right. But like some intricate stuff, nah, fuck that. I'm not doing all that. But I would like to like learn how to be able to do like I could do this frog eventually. I feel like I could like that's where my brain's at, right? So I'm like I've had the conversation. It'd be cool just to figure out to learn to see if I want to do it. We'll see what like after school does. I've been in school for the last 2.5 years. So it's really all I know is like school work and all of this. I'm in the midst of like kind of changing my business model to not be doing as much. Like I want to stay heavy into helping like do podcasts because like, this is like a thing like we're probably like well over, you know, we're probably like technically like almost 2 episodes deep in of what like I would suggest people do. I always tell people like 30 minutes for an episode because people aren't going to listen too much, too long.
Well, a lot of people listen to it like commutes and stuff. So it's like you don't want a 2-3 hour long thing.
Yeah. And the beauty of like things like this is like I always tell my clients, you can break this stuff down, you can clip it, and boom, boom, boom. That's a whole other freaking thing. But like I want to stay into this world. Like, I want to stay into the podcast world. I really enjoy photography and I really enjoy videography and like social media. So like I'm going to probably really niche into what I want to do, and then that way I can only like take on like 2 or 3. Like I would additionally on top of my salary of like at work, I would really like to figure out the best way for me to make an additional like $2,000 to $3,000 a month.
Yeah.
Without having to do 30 things though, right?
Yeah.
Like I want clients that I can
A bit of that passive income.
Yeah, that I can just like, hey, here's our monthly content day.
Yeah.
And then I know I have like 3 days of like dedicated editing to put that stuff together.
Well, and it's also not a matter of having to film every single day. It's the quality of that content that you're filming, and then all the before and after that you have to do as well. Like it's so much more to it than just
sitting down and
turning it on. Yeah.
Like this setup alone, like doing all of this, and this isn't even fully like how, like realistically what I would probably have added to this setup if this didn't work, because I didn't actually know if this was going to work and pull the audio. So this is pulling audio to my camera, but it's pulling into the computer. I didn't know if that would work. If it wouldn't have, I would have had to pull my soundboard over here, hook that up, and then hook these into the soundboard. And like people will probably, like you're going to, like I'll say this now for people, let's see, let's go to my camera. Like I'm switching the camera right now. Like I'm doing all of this myself. So if there's any point where you guys have watched this and you're like, what the fuck is he even doing? I've checked my messages a couple times, but I've also like been running it, and that's what I'm doing behind the scenes. If this was you and like someone else, I would be sitting back there with headphones on,
doing all the
listening
things.
to your audio. Like, dude, we could have been talking for this last 45 minutes, and this audio could sound like shit. I have no clue. I tested it yesterday, but I don't know if it's gonna work.
Right.
But I think it will. I mean, I'm looking and I'm seeing. And that's like the cool challenge for me too, is like I'm live producing this and holding a conversation. So like the times, like, and you obviously know, but like the times that, some of the times that you guys have only seen her, I've had to go up and fix the camera. I've had to fix this camera that we're looking at now, because it's a learning curve, and and I'm trying to figure these things out. But I think we're good on this episode. I'm gonna hit end on this episode, guys. Make sure you like, subscribe, follow, and buy my feet finder. I'm just kidding. Yeah, until next time.